Alright, finishing up the Europe point-to-point here. They call it point-to-point as if you just need to get from one place to another quickly, but the game doesn't actually let you do that. You can't forge your own path as much as you might want. In fact, sometimes you can stay on the path and the game will still say that you went off the path, so... I at least didn't get respotted in the last race in the ATV, even though it did on the truck for some reason. I really don't find this lighting flattering for some reason. I think it's that I don't find snow to look very good in this lighting, in the kind of twilight. Also, it's always overcast in this game when they decide to make things twilight. I think snow looks best, usually, in full sunlight. You can also make it dark and then maybe add some colored lighting around everywhere. There are some games that do that, like SSX Tricky or Go Vacation / Ski Snowboard, etc. Those I think pull it off quite well at nighttime. Actually, I think for nighttime lighting, as much as I love Tricky, I might point to the lower parts of SSX3 as a better example of that looking nice. Anyways. Not super fond of SSX3 to be perfectly honest, but I'll give them that one particular portion of the mountain looked really nice. This place is just kind of open, it feels like, at least it is right now. It is scary trying to trying to share the road with these bigger vehicles. I don't think you're a plot important person, Gilfeather. I could be wrong, but if you are plot important, you're so bad at being that I didn't even notice, so bye. I think it's just Dirk who's the actual named important character. I think the only two characters, I think, that show up in races that are actually in the story are Astrid and Dirk, but if I'm wrong, then it would be funny. I never have even thought to think of Dirk as special if the game didn't say he was, though. And I don't even mean right now like how he acts in cutscenes. I mean, if there weren't cutscenes, I wouldn't think of this one guy who keeps leather jumps into heavy vehicle parts. This one guy who is not actually unusually competitive in any capacity is somehow a special NPC. Apparently he actually has like a special model and whatnot, though. From what I've been told. Astrid, of course, you would at least notice wears the same outfit as you, and consistently does decently in races. Dirk, I guess, is in second, but even then, I guess you might notice in gameplay that Dirk, at least in this event type, tends to be towards the front. I don't know if that even counts for that much in reality. It's not like he's always way out ahead of everyone else or anything. Here we are at that point where we're having a bit of trouble passing everyone now. Okay. Just fully submerged for a second there. I've thought a few times that the water goes weirdly deep in this game in some spots. In Fury, you would, in 3, you would have just, okay, the sun is legitimately in my eyes and being a problem. Could you stop doing that? This glare is getting annoying. Oh, past Astrid too. I see Dirk isn't even in, like, second place or anything. But, in 3, you 100% would have bailed off your bike by the time you got that deep in the water. Okay, thankfully I have a good buffer to stay ahead despite taking that turn really poorly. I got to the point where I was just doing damage control trying to not wipe out, but... Yeah, Astrid's in the 1 second. Dirk got 5th. Come on. Dirk didn't even qualify. Is it correct? Is Dirk actually earning these 20 points he has, or is the game just declaring that he gets these points? I feel like it might be the latter. Because, and we saw how poorly he does in the other tournaments. Oh boy, more challenges. Okay. Well, this one's gonna be mud, I guess? Oh. No, dirt and snow. Okay, there we go. It's Shadow again. Okay, I feel like we've done Shadow enough, but okay. Took a good few attempts last time. Oh yeah, cutscene first, as always.
No kidding, that part of the track was really tough.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna lose it on turn 3.
Oh yeah, I was amazed you drove yourself out of that. I mean, that's why.
Oh, you again?
Yeah, what's up with you, Dirk? I mean, why do you keep bugging us? You tired of kicking puppies, or you just jealous of a team that the team wins?
Okay.
You guys are just one big happy family, huh?
Yeah, whatever, Dirk. I got nothing to say to you.
Now maybe. But that wasn't always the case, was it? I'm gonna take a wild guess and say Slick here's never told you about what happened between us right before he disappeared. Slick was running away with virtually every race. Fact is, Slick was squandering his talents with you bunch of bumpkins. I decided to do something about it. I approached him privately and pitched him on jumping ship. Let him know how an organization like Altia Motorsports could take him so much higher, pay off so much more richly than Fury ever could. It didn't take much convincing. Some friend, huh?
Bull. If that's true, why did he come back to us?
Why don't you ask him yourself? Later, losers.
Dirk is so full of it. You'd never do that. Not in a million years, right, Slick? Slick, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, it's a job. Like, oh no, this guy went off for a better job, supposedly. And then when it didn't work out, he came back. I mean, awkward, but not really that controversial a thing, I think. Alright, let's go down the same mountain? Or maybe it's just another part of the same map? Who knows? Yeah, it's a different part of the same map. So we do have these like extended large maps sometimes, it looks like. They do have multiple places you might drive in them. But they don't have features in them, like in the previous game from what I can see, despite these things existing. It's kind of disappointing. Oh. Okay. Wasn't sure if that was the right place to be. Let's at least, you know, learn our way around this place. Man, this game loves its narrow paths that you traverse really quickly in the late game. And going uphill too, jeez. It looks like going right there on the road is not actually a path to the end, unfortunately. It never feels good going up a hill in an ATV in this sort of 3, in my opinion. It's just so much of a struggle, which is the point. It's just... Oh wait, do I recognize this bridge? I don't know if I do or not. This is a longer course, all things considered. I realize I'm about to run out of time to finish as well, but... Alright, and that's the end there. At least I got a qualifying time, but at that point, why do they have the qualifying time and AI both? It seems redundant. The AI always very easily finish within time. But okay, so let's... They always do that thing where the AI just starts faster than you, which is annoying. Feels very illegitimate. Yeah, I at least keep up the appearance of it being a real race. Nice, that's what I like to see. Yeah. Some Supercross style jumps into jumps. There's Manu again. Manu is a name I recognize. Manu does well in races consistently. Oh, foul. There we go. I don't really know how to try to take these parts efficiently, to be honest. I guess I can do stuff like that where I don't pointlessly take a jump. Might be a bit more efficient. Yeah, a big part of these things is just taking an efficient route. Like, don't do pointless jumps on things you don't need to do. I'm falling behind as I say that. Yeah, way on the top left there is Manu on the mini-map. Yeah. Okay, did better. Just need to learn their route pretty much, based on what's happened in previous races like this. But the annoying thing is you start behind and then have to catch up with everyone too. Stop that. Well, it's kind of weird. I guess I just have lower acceleration than everyone else, because I then start getting ahead of everyone as soon as they like start reaching the top speeds, which is kind of weird. So you kind of sidestep some of these jumps, and sometimes it works out, other times I guess it just doesn't. Considering I actually did end up falling behind there. I feel like that should work. It's just not obvious to me why it doesn't. Not doing nearly as well this time, though, I will confess. It feels to me like I should just keep my wheels on the ground and keep accelerating up the hill like this right here. But, practice doesn't seem to work as well. Right on the left here seems pretty decent. It seems like you get to just climb a bit more gradually with your wheels on the ground, instead of spending all your time jumping up and down and up and down. Of course, I end up in basically the same spot. But, I mean, the more time you can spend with your wheels on the ground, your engine actually propelling you forwards, the better, right? That's my idea. I mean, there are cases where, yeah, going in the air can let you keep a bit more momentum that you would otherwise lose. I don't think that's okay. That happened. Oh, wait, bicycles are a thing? How do bicycles work in this game? There aren't buttons for them. They weren't even in the stunt tutorial, were they? I thought they weren't. How did I do that? It's like there, should I do that? I feel like I shouldn't. I could preload and just do even more of it. It just doesn't feel like I should be doing it. Like here, this feels bad to me. How I end up slowing down in the air and then just kind of landing, going straight down a little bit. These guys come up to me with more speed than I have somehow. I wonder if they just give you a vehicle that has lower acceleration, a higher top speed in this course or something. It could be why I start slower than my opponents and then catch up to them. I don't know. Cool. Yeah, a lot of money per race at this point, which is very nice. Okay, well that's that, I guess. Alright, and we are off to the final continent, if I remember correctly. Was this Asia, I think it was? No, South America. We've already been to Asia. Couldn't remember. Awesome. You'll now compete, as in, like you have the last 4 continents. Only in Fury vehicles, okay.
Skelly, Astrid, there you guys are.
Hey,
Oh, Skelly's one of our guys.
Okay, we haven't had a chance to talk since Dirk dropped his bombshell in Europe.
Bombshell is right.
About that. I need you guys to hear my side of the story, too.
we're all ears, Slick.
I wish I could say Dirk was a big liar, but the fact is, most of what he said was true. I did agree to jump to Altia Motorsports. I agonized over it for weeks. Deep down, I knew it wasn't the right thing to do, but the lure was just too strong. With the deed done, I went to break the news to Buck. Turned out not to be so easy. Hey, Buck, you got a minute?
For you, anytime. You've been nothing short of a godsend.
Yeah, listen, about that.
With the upfront money we had to pay to join this circuit, we had to gamble that we'd have success before we went broke. Thanks to you, it looks like that gamble is gonna pay off.
Hey, you know what? Never mind. It's nothing. Really, forget it.
Sure? My door is always open.
The full consequences of my betrayal hit me hard. In that moment, I realized just how rotten I'd become, how empty I was. The pure joy of racing had always been everything to me, but I already lost sight of all of that and became purely focused on the fame and the money. I betrayed Buck, I betrayed you guys. It was too much for me. I had to get away somewhere.
So where did you go?
The one person I'd always looked up to, my boyhood idol, Shooter Valentine. My time with Shooter helped me reconnect with my original love of racing. And what's more, he slowly made me realize that I could never get over the guilt of my betrayal without confronting it. So here I am. I wish I could have just buried my past. Just hope you'll accept me, knowing what you do now.
It's obvious you've changed. After all, you came back to our team, and we've both seen how torn up you've been since the truth came out. Come on, life is about second chances, Slick. And we're willing to give you one.
Welcome back, dude. Hey, just make sure you use those skills that got you so much attention to wrap up the championship for Fury.
I'm still not convinced by this guy's whole character arc being he tried to take a better job and it just didn't work out. Like, okay. And by not working out, I mean he just decided that he didn't want to in the end. Oh well. Anyways, next time we get back to these events. Oh boy. Last round of these though. And then I guess that's the end of story, I suppose. Unless there's something after. Maybe there is. I don't know. Again, this whole thing with the story mode has been kind of weird just from a perspective of, oh, never mind, you don't get to buy vehicles and use them anymore. Although you're allowed to buy them through the menus in story mode, you're just not allowed to use them so far. Maybe we'll have a final tournament where I get to use bikes of my choice and whatnot. Maybe, I don't know. Bye everyone.